I love that story of the man walking along the beach, throwing starfish back into the ocean, especially when the doubter approaches him and says, "You can't possibly save them all, so why try?" And the man replied, as he threw one back, "Made a difference to that one." When I was in high school, Mrs. West and Mrs. Rutherford were my home economics teachers. I wasn't always the best student and was pretty headstrong. They had a way of giving me a look and shaking their heads that let me know they didn't approve. I remember this one time while working on the float for the county fair that I got the bright idea to dip snuff. That did not go over well. Somehow, they found a way to redirect my energy for better things. They became my mentors. It was Mrs. Rutherford who took me on my first visit to Ohio State. Little did I know the difference that trip would make. When I was struggling to find my way at Ohio State, my mom said, "You should become a teacher." And that was the furthest thing from my mind. But my mom was persistent and strong-willed, and I finally relented. And, as often the case, mothers are always right. I quickly realized that teaching is my passion. That made Mrs. West and Mrs. Rutherford proud, and they told me often. Flash forward 13 years. My first year as a professor at the University of Kentucky, I met Amelia. Shortly after arriving on campus as a freshman, she was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. She'd never had a drop of alcohol. Even when she was feeling her worst, even knowing that she might not graduate, she showed up for class, for her friends, for life, to make a difference for others. When I left UK, Amelia told me there were many times that I'd acted as her surrogate mother. Imagine that, from the student who taught me so much about making a difference. A year after starting teaching at Texas Tech, I learned that a family donated their son's liver. He made the ultimate difference for Amelia. It's the many lessons that I take from these 4 remarkable women as I show up and learn from my students every day. The greatest part of being a teacher is knowing I made a difference to that one.